Hi guys, and welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. So happy to have you here with me today. Now today's reading is an extended weekend reading, focusing on the energies surrounding us on the weekend of December 21st through the 23rd, 2018. For the reading, I will be using the Sun and Moon Tarot deck by Vanessa Decort, and I'll pull an additional oracle card from the Earth Magic deck by Stephen D. Farmer. Just a reminder, these are general readings, so the messages may or may not resonate. The only way to get a truly personalized reading would be to order a private reading with me. If you're interested, all of the info can be found in the description box below this video. All right, so let's get into it. So I have already shuffled off camera, but I will give the deck a few more shuffles here. Spirit, what do we need to know? What are the messages for the weekend of December 21st through the 23rd. What are the energies surrounding us? What do we need to know? What are the messages for? Two cards flew out. Let me put these over here. Okay. One more, and then I will show you the cards. All right. Oh, yikes. That's funny. Okay. Feel like, I don't know, I'll leave it for now. I was going to say, I feel like I need to pull an additional card. I'll show you why, but here we go. One additional card for the weekend. December 21st through the 23rd. What do we need to know? An additional card for the weekend of December 21st through the 23rd. Okay, we'll do one last shuffle. Oops. One more. There we go. And divide the deck. And, all right. So I feel like I'm being led to pull clarifiers. Give me 1 second. Let me just get my clarifiers here, and I'll show you why. Just let me just go ahead and pull clarifiers. Now, I'll only pull on 2 of these cards. Spirit, please clarify the tower for the weekend of the 21st through the 23rd. Please clarify what is the tower for the weekend of the 21st through the 23rd. Please clarify. Okay. And please clarify the 5 of Pentacles. Where's the 5 of Pentacles? The weekend of 21st through 23rd. Please clarify. Okay. All right. So sorry for the lots of shuffling there. Okay, we have as the energy heading into the weekend, we have Major Arcana number 20. This is the Aeon, Judgment, followed by Major Arcana number 8, Justice. And these actually kind of came out, you know, it's either sort of this one first and then that one or that one. And so I'll move them around because they didn't come out. They were sort of just right next to each other. And then the outbound energy is the Tower. So Major Arcana number 16, the Tower, which is why I pulled a clarifier. So we have 3 Major Arcanas for our weekend. So needless to say, this could be quite a significant weekend for many of us. Lots of divine orchestration at play, divine intervention, right? And the card that I pulled as a clarifier on the Tower is the Knight of Swords. And I'll get to that as I go through it. And then the card that was at the bottom, well, it wasn't at the bottom of the deck, came out as the 4th card. So I took that as our sort of overall energy for this one. We have the 5 of Pentacles, and clarifying it, we have the Prince of Wands. And the Oracle card is Cave, Sanctuary. So, where to begin? Let's start off with the overall energy. So, the 5 of Pentacles is, as you can see, we have this couple there outside of, usually, we can see that this sort of, it's a couple walking through the snow outside of a church. And, it's like they're kind of out in the cold, but there is help at hand, right? If they would look and go knock on the door, go into the church, there could be, help, assistance at hand for them. But you can see that they're just, the card is called Worry in this deck, and it's like they're just sitting there, not acting. You can see the one person is rolled up or curled up in this, in a sort of a ball here. And so it suggests that there's a considerable worry about finances, and it's clarified by the Prince of Wands. This Prince of Wands could be an individual. When we have, sorry, let me lower this so you can see. When we have court cards appear in our reading, they can be people who are playing a significant role, right, during this time. If so, this would usually be a younger fire sign individual, could even be a child of yours, could be somebody, just with younger energy, or could be somebody actually younger, but fire sign, so Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. I'm sorry, this is actually, in this particular deck, they have the princess and then the prince. So I apologize for that. This is actually the knight, what would be the Knight of Wands. This deck has it, the court cards are a little bit different. You'll see over here we have the Knight of Swords as the clarifier. This is actually the king. So the way that this Zilliq deck is, the way that the court cards are, we have the princess, which would be the page. We have the prince, which would be the knight. The queen, which is just the queen, and then the Knight of Wands, or the knight of that suit, which would be the king. So slightly different. I apologize. The signs are still the same, so it's still Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, but usually this would be more of a middle-aged, instead of a younger individual, more of a middle-aged individual here. And you can see that it's interesting the way that it's depicted in this deck, because you can see how the prince, he's wearing only it's like the wings of a phoenix. So it makes me think of the death card in this particular, or in the Sun and Moon deck, because they have the death card as the, this phoenix rising from the ashes. So we have this phoenix figure here on the card. And this, this Prince of Wands energy is very fast-paced. Out of all of the knights, the Knight of Wands is the fastest moving, because it is, it's fire energy. And so fire energy, there's a spark, it flares up quite quickly, but it also burns out quickly. So usually it suggests that, there could be, something that is time sensitive. There could be, as a knight, the knights go off on quests, and they usually bring back things. They can be messengers, they can bring gifts. So there could be news coming in quite quickly. You might need to act on something quite quickly. And with it clarifying this 5 of Pentacles, I feel that, if there is some type of worry, concern about finances, which, for many people, this kind of makes sense. I don't think it's anything major, because it's more about this worry. And around the holiday season, it's common for people to spend more than normal, because you're trying to, to buy the extra food for the, the get-togethers. You're trying to buy the extra gifts to give away, at the holiday, the office parties, or to give away to friends. So there is just sort of additional spending for many people around this time of the year. So there could be, this could be it could be ending quite quickly. There could be something that comes in quite quickly that will move you out of this 5 of Pentacles. So I don't feel that it's, it's not something to really be that concerned about. But it is a card of worry, right? The Five of Pentacles. Pentacles is earth energy, and so it does deal with, the material things, like the work that we do, the money we earn. It's earth energy, so it's resources, financial prosperity, things related to our work, our wealth, our security. And like the card suggests, worry, it's usually this lack mentality, the Five of Pentacles. So there's a worry about financial problems, a worry about not having enough, a worry about even health, right? It can sometimes have to do with health issues, health worries. But we do have this, look at the stained glass window here. It's like a mandala here. And so we have this, or what it suggests is mind over matter. So by staying in the present, and not, worrying, not allowing ourselves to worry about, what hasn't worked out, what money we might have lost, or what money hasn't come in yet. We can only control the present. So there might be a need to curtail your spending a little, try to, as you're moving through the next week or so, right? This is a weekend reading, so thinking about more the weekend, but even as we kind of are dealing with the holiday season, try to, as much as possible, be, a little more frugal. There might be, and oops, sorry, just knocked something over here. There might be a need to curtail our spending a little, but again, I feel that this is short-lived, that either there could be a fire sign individual coming in to assist, or there could be news that comes in quite quickly to get you out of this, lack mentality. So it's, it is sort of temporary. It's nothing to worry about. Now, starting off with, well, let me try to talk about all three of these together, because these are major energies here. So we have, and it's just for the weekend, right? 3 major arcana for the weekend. So Judgment, Justice, and the Tower. Summarizing, what could we say? There's very karmic cards. The Justice is a very karmic energy. It's about karmic justice. Finally, if things haven't gone your way, if there has been, if you have been treated unfairly, or if you feel that you've been treated unfairly, there's a kind of a balancing out of the scales of justice here, right? So things could be finally going in your favor. With the Judgment card, this is about new beginnings, right? And you see there's a calling. So these people are being called to this new beginning. So this can also have to do with a judgment call, so needing to make a decision. New beginnings coming in, but with this, calling, or this fresh start, sometimes there's a need to kind of release the past as well, right? In order to have this new beginning, you might need to release some things from the past, kind of accept certain things, put them to rest in order to move on. And this could have something to do with the, this lack mentality, these worries about finances. There could be a need to just sort of close the door on that and move forward. And then things going in your favor now. This could have to do with a court ruling. Sometimes the Justice card, it comes out when we're dealing with the court system, or with a judge, or lawyer. So rulings going in your favor here. It can also be, truth coming out, karmic justice being served here. So it's a very powerful energy to have at the center of the reading. And then the Tower. Now, I know a lot of people seem to, they get very scared when the Tower comes out in a reading. I personally don't view the Tower that way, right? To me, the Tower is just something very unexpected, much like the lightning, and we never know. I mean, obviously, when there's a lot of, when we have a thunderstorm, we can hear the rumbling, and we know that it's raining a lot, but we never know when this lightning is actually going to strike. And so it's always unexpected, right? It always shakes things up. So usually after a Tower moment or event, things are never the same again, right? But that's not necessarily bad. Sometimes as humans, it's, we might not be as willing to kind of shake up our own lives. So sometimes the universe needs to step in and say, you know what, things need to change. So let me just go ahead and, put the ball into motion here, have this tower moment, and, things will definitely change after this. And again, this fast-paced energy, so obviously with the tower, it usually speaks of something quite unexpected, but it could be coming in quite quickly. This Knight of Swords, this would be the King of Swords in the traditional tarot. So could be a person. If so, this is an older air sign individual, male or female, but Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. And you can see that, he is charging off. He is poised and ready to attack. He has his sword drawn. It's like he is ready to attack here. So I feel that, or to defend himself even. So I feel that whatever this tower situation is, it might come in quite quickly. There might be an air sign individual involved. This air sign individual might be coming in to help you deal with it. You might be taking on the energy of this Knight of Swords and, and just kind of charging ahead here and facing things head on. But whatever it is, it's very much out of our hands, right? It's sort of the universe stepping in. And whether this plays out, obviously it's going to play out differently for everybody, but this could be within a relationship. That could be, and the Judgment card going back here, the Judgment card can also be like a second chance, so there could be like a renewal of a relationship, like a second chance with the Judgment. It can also be a brand new beginning. If this is within the work sector, this could be, starting out kind of this second chance, second lease on life, and starting out into a brand new career. It could also be, again, this with the Justice card here, karmic justice, so things finally going your way here. And the Tower doesn't necessarily have to be bad. Like I've just said that, but it doesn't have to be. I sometimes give the example of, you might have been in a job for many years, and even though you weren't that happy working in that particular job or position, you did it because it paid the bills. It was a decent job, maybe where you live. That was really the only, job available for you, but you weren't really happy there. But you wouldn't leave the job, right? Because it was sort of secure and safe, and maybe, what you have been earning hasn't been enough, right? Maybe that's where the financial concerns come from. And then all of a sudden, it's like you find out that your hours are being cut, or that location is being closed, or, something like that, where it's just very unexpected. And at first glance, it might seem like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And I'm losing my job. But if you think about it, it's actually sort of a blessing in disguise, because it's come in, it really has shook up your life and the situation. And now it's like you're being forced, you're being, pushed by the universe to go in search of something new. So, the Tower card, it's associated with Mars, and it can have to do with, the getting rid of, the destruction of old forms. It has to do with healing as well, and renewal. And we have this renewal and healing over here with the Judgment card. So there could be, for many of us, there could be some type of healing, or some type of, getting rid of, destruction of old forms here. Communication as well. And the Knight of Swords is also, besides being this very fast-paced energy, as the suit of the mind, right, air energy, it deals with our thoughts, it's our words, it's communication. So there could be communication here, right? This could be very significant in dealing with this Tower situation. The Justice card as well. It's like, finally things are going your way. Maybe this Tower event, it could be very, it could definitely shake things up for you, but it's like there's karmic justice at play here. This card is linked with Libra, and we did have Libra, Gemini, Aquarius with this, so there could be a Libra individual that you might be dealing with. And also with the Justice card, it's like, you know, things might be clearer now. I mean, she's also, I'm not sure if you can see it, she's holding the sword of truth here. So things might, you know, and this is also to do with communication. So it's like you could finally be hearing, right, the truth about a situation, clarity coming in. The Justice card is also balance. You can see the balance scales here. So balance coming in. There's also something to do with, you know, like our kind of understanding our own actions and consequences as well with the Justice card. And, you know, the judgment comes, it's one before the last of the major arcana. So it comes, you know, one before the world card, and it's associated with Pluto. And it has to do with, again, you know, understanding, forgiveness, a new way of thinking as well. So there's, you know, this new way of thinking, change, healing, lots of shifting in, you know, the way that we have previously viewed things even. But a major, very significant weekend, I think, for many of us. Let me take a look at the sanctuary card, so cave. I like to read the full meaning for the oracle cards. Let's see how this ties in. Where am I? Here we go. Now let me read just the second part, because this one, it's quite long. Although it does, the first part of it does speak of, if I can hold this up so you can see it. You can see how the man here, obviously he's in the cave, right? And it's like he's drawing, or the images that he's drawing, he's giving birth to, you know, the new artwork on the wall. And it speaks about this artwork and this endless spiral of life, death, rebirth, which is interesting because that is what, you know, the Judgment card is all about. It's like this rebirth, this being called to this brand new way of life. So let me just read the main message for this card. And it says, there's a quiet, still place inside of you that will always be available as a sanctuary. Yet finding such a space in the natural world will enhance and complement this internal place of peace. Whether it is a cave, meadow, forest, seashore, or any other setting in nature, this is where you can hear, see, and feel the presence of the Creator in your surroundings. Let it become a temple for your heart and soul. Rather than having your computer, television, or other human-made device or activity be your sanctuary, allow yourself to discover the perfect place in nature where you can simply be and breathe. Doing so bridges the connection between the internal and external, facilitating a spiritual communion that allows your being to be aligned in dramatic and quiet reverie with all that is. In today's busy world, it becomes even more critical to set aside time for sanctuary, even if you have to schedule it. So it's interesting that it mentioned this, the endless spiral of life, death, rebirth, and the circular pattern that he's drawing, but also this refuge, right? This need to find refuge. And then we have on the Five of Pentacles, there is, you know, they could seek refuge inside of the church, but they don't. So there's a need to find refuge. The Tower is obviously a structure, but it's being, you know, it's crumbling to the ground. So you might need to find refuge, you know, in a place, or go within, you know, find sort of that refuge, that sanctuary within, as you deal with, you know, these changes, because these are major changes, right? With the Judgment, the Tower, significant changes. So you might need to kind of retreat from the world, find this, you know, the safety of this and sanctuary for yourself in order to handle these changes. But it looks like a significant, powerful weekend. I'd be very interested to hear from you how this plays out. So I do hope that the messages have helped. I thank you for joining me today. I look forward to reading for you again, and just know that I'm sending you much peace, love, and light for a wonderful weekend. Bye for now.